Right, so in today's video, I'm going to be aerating this soil using this hollow tine aerator. I'll be talking about the benefits of it, why I'm doing it to this lawn, and why actually you might want to consider doing it to yours too, now that we're in April. But before we get into the aerating, it might just be worth having a little look at the state of this lawn at the moment. And so far, you know, it's looking okay. You can see that some of the weed grasses have started to wake themselves up now that the weather's getting a little bit warmer, since, you know, we've had quite a lot of rainfall as well. We do have a few weed grasses down at the front too, and a little bit of moss that is creeping back. And I'm going to be doing a video on moss in the next few weeks, just talking about moss killer, what it actually is, whether it even exists, that sort of thing. But yeah, so far so good. And before we actually get on with the hollow tine aerator, I'm going to give this lawn a quick cut. So the tool that I'm using today to actually aerate this soil is the Swardman hollow tine aerator. It is quite expensive. You can buy it for around about £140, so not a cheap bit of kit by any stretch. But what it does is it takes cores out of the soil. So just give you a quick demonstration. You plonk it into the soil, you pull it out, and it'll actually pull cores out of your soil, leaving behind a little hole where each of these cores actually were. You can just see now, if we get up close to the space, you can see it's left 3 holes in the lawn, and that's what's key with the actual aeration. So by pulling cores like this out your soil, it has some massive benefits. The first of which is it actually decompacts the lawn. When you're walking across it and you're taking your lawnmower or your Scarifier across it, and when we have loads of rain or when you're watering your lawn, what that does is it pushes quite a lot of air out of the soil. You almost got to think of that soil layer, like the perfect sort of conditions would be 50% solid matter, like this, you know, your clays, your sands and soils and whatnot. 25% you'd hope would be moisture, another 25% would actually be air, and getting the oxygen down into those holes, allowing the soil to breathe and allowing all those microbes to do their thing and multiply and thrive, and, you know, as a result, it's healthier for your plants. Now what you could do is you could fill these holes. You can go over with a top dressing, and what you'd be doing in that instance is you'd almost be replacing part of the lawn that you currently have in place. So what I've done to the back lawn is I've actually gone on and I've top dressed with sand, and that's reduced the aeration benefits because it's not being aerated as much because I've filled the holes with something. But what it has done is it's changed the soil profile. Now what I'm not doing in today's video is I'm not changing the actual soil profile that I've got. All I'm doing is decompacting it. I'm going to leave the holes open, and slowly over the next few weeks those holes will eventually close over and it'll decompact all the soil that's surrounding those holes then. And I will be getting on in the next week or two and actually doing a renovation on this lawn, but I want to actually aerate today first before I get on and overseed anything, just to make sure I get the most out of this hollow tine process. You've also got to consider as well the impact it's going to have on the fertilizers that you put down on your lawn too. So if you've got a really compacted soil, what that's going to mean is when you get on with your fertilizers, it's not going to be able to penetrate down further into that soil layer to get, you know, the maximum benefits from that product. But by aerating your soil, it means obviously there's less compaction, your fertilizers have more of an impact, they last longer, and they have more of an effect on the overall aesthetic of the lawn. So what we're going to do, we're going to get on with this hollow tine aerator. If you've got a massive lawn, you've got a space that's much bigger than this tiny lawn that I'm working with today, you can hire big machines to actually go over and take these cores out, or you can hire someone to come in and do it for you. But I'm using this. It's going to be back-breaking only on this small lawn, so I imagine on a bigger space it's going to be even more tiring. Like I said, I did it on the back lawn recently and it was quite a big job, so I'm expecting the same sort of thing today. But yeah, let's get to it. Right, there we go. The whole lawn has been aerated. It is tiring work, but we've got all these cores out of the soil now. Now there are a few things you can do at this stage. If you've got quite good soil, what you can do is get on maybe with a Scarifier and just churn up all of these cores and let them almost fall back down into those holes in a more loose fashion, not in the compacted fashion that they're in now. And that almost acts as a free top dressing. Or what you can do is what I'm going to do. I'm going to rake these off and get rid, and I'm going to leave the holes exposed so all the air can get down into them. Now I do just want to mention as well, doing something like this is ideal when there's a little bit of moisture in the soil, not when it's completely sodden, not when it's like torrential rain. But after a rainfall, maybe the next day, it's a good idea to get on and do this because the soil's quite soft, which means the cores are going to come out quite easily. If you do something like this in, sort of the back end of May or even into June and July, what can happen is, because the lawn is so dry, when you take these cores out, it just means that the lawn's going to dry out even more than it actually is, and then it's really going to struggle. So I would sort of avoid doing it later on in the year. It's ideal to do now. Probably April is probably the best time to do it because we've got decent weather, but it's not too hot. We still have quite a lot of rainfall coming down in the next week or two, so hopefully it's going to enable this lawn to get all the benefits of the actual aeration without any of the struggles that it would have potentially in the summer. So you can kind of see now from above that all these holes that we have punched into the soil going all the way across there, probably thousands of them now, all the way across the entire lawn, airing the entire space out. Now, like I already said towards the start of the video, I'm not going to be top dressing this lawn. I'm not going to be filling these spaces. I'm going to let them collapse in on themselves. When I come to renovate this lawn in around about a week or two, the holes are still going to kind of be there and some of the top dressing will fall down into it, but the lawn will have started to get some of the benefits of the aeration that we've just done. So if you enjoyed today's video, feel free to give it a like, and if you'd like to follow along with any more of these lawn tip videos or any of my lawn renovation videos, head over to my channel, and if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. Finally, thanks for watching.